wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq. Of Ukraine.
Wars have been fought over oil. In a short matter of time, they will be fought over war.
Wow. ManCon. I know which one it is. It's a number that when you see the episode title, you'll be like, that's right, there has been that many.
ManCon 2016.
We're back, baby.
Here we are.
It feels like 8 years ago.
I listen, I was with her. I really thought, fucking James Comey.
I can't believe James Comey did this. Man,
Why?
It's that's the craziest story out of all of it is Hillary Clinton just kind of dabbing on all of this. She's like, well, Kamala doesn't have a James Comey. And I'm like, I hate you so much. This is all your fault.
That's where I think Joe Biden, Joe Biden right now, I think he is just happy as shit.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I think he's like, in his mind, he proved all the Democratic establishment that never thought Scranton Joe could do it.
Amazing.
He's proven wrong. Or like he proved
there's no
wrong.
counterfactual for him. So yeah, he's just like, I would have fucking won.
I would have won.
Like,
I'm the only one that beat Trump.
He had to know that, right? Like
that's what they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit what they know.
Yeah.
What they know now is Biden is the only one that beat Trump. And Karine Jean-Pierre literally said it.
Yeah.
Literally said it of like, hey, asked like, do you think Biden not dropping out and or even running again?
Yeah.
Set this whole thing up for failure. And she said it out loud of like, but he's the only one that beat him. So
yeah. That's so crazy.
Like, you guys
These are such
sick.
Crazy things to cling on to, man. Like there's going to be such a like that's what I think of most of all this past week and a half that I've been like bearing witness to all of the mania of Dems and Dem operatives. There is going to be some sort of a fissure between just regular, just kind of like people that show up to vote every 4 years and like political fucking activated like Dems, people that follow Brooklyn Dad and shit. I think there is going to be like real blue anon people, like not like we've been joking about for the past couple of years, but actual like the ones that are like, what did Elon delete some of the votes?
Yeah,
like those. Yeah, I think that is going to actually transpire. I think 2016 was not enough to break these people, but now
I hope so.
Yeah,
like. Let's go.
Hey, the less time they spend calling the cops on, black kids, the better, honestly. Good.
Yeah.
Gives them something to do.
That's right. You're goddamn right.
Gives these women in the suburbs something to focus on.
Something to focus on. There's some old white guy that's in charge of your elections in your district.
Yeah.
And you should not give them a minute of peace.
It is, yeah, man. It's going to be, I don't know. Like, that's what I think most of all is just like, I've already seen what conservatives are like during a Trump administration, and they fucking suck. And there's, outright Nazis that are very, like, out and proud about it. See Nick Fuentes already. But I mean, I think about, like, what a lot of Dems, especially ones that sat around and, like I said, follow like Brooklyn Dad or Aaron Rupar or Bakari Sellers, what have you. And they, man, I do not think good things, are coming for a lot of their, mental health.
Yeah. And this is when we did our live ManCon.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think like maybe we should just even give, as we look back, is like, what's your final take?
Yeah.
On the election? And then we can just get into how disgustingly wrong some libs want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I think my final take is that they ran the campaign that they wanted, you know? Like, this was the type of campaign that Kamala and Jen Malio Dillon and all of these people,
Republicans in the cabinet.
Yeah,
and
they got what they wanted. You know, they got to run. They wanted to run a 2008 style campaign with some shades of 2016, and they were unable to had all these fucking celebrities, hanging out. Were unable to really speak to a working class, we're unable to speak to, people that were like, hey, things are not bad. Things are not good right now. All these freaks like Will Stancil that are just like, it is a vibe session. It's like, well, you just lost based on a vibe session then. Like, that's what you need to, like, this is the thing. It's like these fucking math nerds that sit around and they're like, well, I've calculated that people are doing 3.8% better than they were. Like, that doesn't matter. Nobody thinks about it like that. And if you do, then you're a fucking freak. Regular, everyday people just stayed the fuck home. Not even, I mean, we are getting numbers now that indicate that Trump did grow in votes over the past 4 years. But, like, that's not, but a couple million votes. Yeah. The real story is still that people just fucking did not come out for the Dems, man.
Yeah.
In so many different places, No,
that's, I think in something that, we talk about before, but especially like looking back and like I do wonder if once Joe Biden decided to run again, like Democrats are just set up for failure, and
yes,
it is because,
I think that was one of the nails in the coffin.
Yeah, because as much as they want to say, Joe Biden is a good president only on paper. Joe Biden, in a political science class in 50 years, it would have looked like, oh, wow, this guy did all type of this great shit, except for Gaza, then leading towards, a deep unpopularity, and then debate, Jover. And that's the thing is that, and there's all these, some of coming off of like Nancy Pelosi and some of the things that she said. But yeah. Like no one's winning this campaign of everything is mostly fine.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't feel mostly fine. And you could talk about inflation all you want. Because they're not dealing with the fact that prices, right? As it's not inflation for the day to day. It's not inflation for regular people. It's prices.
Yeah.
And that's that's just something that like, that's capitalism. Like we don't get deflation.
Correct. Like, that's just it.
Deflation is bad.
Prices
that
are not
recession.
fucking,
We can't have deflation. We can't have prices go down.
Yeah.
This is just it. That's it. Right? Whatever we see now, that's our prices now. We need to just deal with it. And so the Democrats just completely missing on this economic thing and just on the policy. I really, there's not much anyone could do. I think Kamala's best bet
was
to actually being able to
20% gains for the black men that have crypto. Yeah,
no,
I agree.
No, it was it was the small business $50,000 tax credit for the small businesses.
Yeah.
Well, no, and that's where if the narrative is, I'm a prosecutor and I'm going after these price gouging corporations.
Yeah.
If that is the narrative, maybe.
Yeah.
If that involves if that involves a $20 minimum wage, okay, now you've actually got something to generate. Not just like, hey, we're going to find a bad guy, not just Trump. We're going to find an actual bad guy that you can beat up. If you actually have something like, a $20 minimum wage, but that's what they said Liz Cheney.
Yeah.
Let's go around with Liz Cheney. Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Call it bribe, call it whatever you want. Put out a fucking stimmy. Hey, listen, we hear you. It's tougher to buy groceries right now.
Oh my God.
We are gonna, just to help people, navigate. Say whatever you want, man. But the Trump stimmies, people still remember those. Like, people were voting on those.
Yeah. And that's where I think it all starts with Joe Biden sticking around, and then there's doing a genocide and losing and
Joe Biden being in office. I mean, if anything, it really just does prove the Lyndon B. Johnson, Hubert Humphreys rule is just, what are you going to do? If you can't separate yourself from this guy before you, and you were unable to that is just the fate. And then I just think the Democrats maybe never try this again.
Well, and that's because they never actually learned. The lesson is you need to separate. The lesson is you have to and especially on the unpopular issue. It was Vietnam then, and it was Gaza now.
Yeah.
On that issue, you have to. You could say, "Oh, hey, everything's fine," in all the other senses, but at that's it.
Yeah.
You gotta change on the thing that made them not run again, and that's where I don't think people really associate Biden's unpopularity. Right, most people associate the debate as to why he had to step down.
Yeah,
but he was so in the tank, and a lot of it started he was barely just above water or barely even. And then October of last year, his favorables actually seemed like into going into double digits unfavorable rating, and you're done. And if you can't separate from that, good luck.
That's it. Yeah. I think about that. I also think what's interesting too, if we're talking about Hubert Humphreys, Lyndon B. Johnson thing. I think that wasn't set in stone, right? I don't know. I don't know what would have happened, right? Somebody, generic Democrat chosen in an open primary, may have done even worse. But what I do know is that Joe Biden made the decision. We know that because of Nancy Pelosi in the past week. Joe Biden made the decision that it was going to be Kamala and nobody else. There are a lot of operatives within the party that were like, "Oh no, I think we should figure something out here. I think we should have an open primary. I think we should at least pitch a different idea." And Joe's like, "Well, too bad, Jack."
And that's where I'm not sure that works out. There's no part of me.
I don't know if it does either. It just, I think of it this way, and I think of it for how the American people, especially Dems, and I'd be curious to have some maybe some post game kind of trying to figure out why people didn't vote, sending out mailers, because what I do know is that 10 million plus Dems didn't vote. And I'd like to know if there's a reason why. And if a lot of them have just kind of lost faith in the electoral system because these people are just constantly fucking chosen for them, Joe Biden was chosen for them, Kamala Harris then is chosen for them off of somebody that they canceled fucking primaries, just annoying. Hillary Clinton was chosen for them. Joe Biden was chosen for them in 2020 as well. What reason do you have to continue buying into this system when the Dems have just kind of selected who they wanted for the past 12 years, right?
I feel
they made those choices.
Yeah.
Obama was only able to escape it because of his meteoric success amongst as a public speaker amongst people in primary states, because they were well determined to just let Hillary take it in 2008. What happens when and that's something that you can absolutely say, at least for Republicans, they feel like they got what they wanted. They chose Trump in the primaries. Yeah. They chose Trump in the elections. This is someone that they selected, and the party be damned. And Democrats do not allow that. All right? There is no room for, oh, well, actually, can we have a little bit of socialist grandpa instead? No.
No.
You sit down, not. You eat your green beans, and you like it. Okay?
Absolutely not.
And I think that, that is wearing on the party. That is starting to just completely tear them down, because what are my options? I've got to pick grandpa genocide because we're just not allowed to have choice. He's 82 years old. You think that he should be allowed to be president at 86?
Well, and I think that in getting into like why people either stayed home, why late just like breaking voters just like ended up going with Trump, and I think that in like, for one thing, there's like we all got to understand that like when it comes to elections, most Americans are dipshits. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Like people who are listening to this podcast, people who feel that they are smart, engaged in politics. You could barely know anything about politics, but if you just are aware, if you know one person in federal government, like in a cabinet position, right? If you are just aware of who Pete Buttigieg is and his job,
you have a leg up, man.
You are so much more aware of just general government and politics than 90% of the people who vote.
Listen, that's true. I was watching the Jon Stewart, the one that he did the other day. He was talking about the different Dem ads and how they ran as Republicans. And I'm just naming off all these senators, and Evie's like, how the fuck do you know their names? I'm like, I have a disease.
Yeah, how do you not know? I guess democracy
from
means
Montana. How do you not
democracy
know?
means nothing to you. Like,
oh man, Henry Cuellar, come on. He's on the House Oversight Committee.
Oh, you don't know the Democratic beast on the border, Henry Cuellar? You don't even know Oh, wow. You just don't care about democracy.
Man, it's fucked up. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, but that's real. And I really just want to make absolutely clear of like, it's not that people are stupid. You know, it's not, like,
they just don't want to be engaged with it.
What the fuck is there good to engage with?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, yeah.
It's like reaching into a bag of broken glass. Like, no, I don't want to engage with that.
Yeah.
Like,
and I fear the next 4 years make that even worse, man. Nobody wants to fucking...
The glass keeps getting sharper. They're like pouring hot sauce in the bag. Oh, God. It's just getting worse and worse.
They're gonna put Sam Eagle in the fucking Secretary of the Interior, man. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Well, and so we're scattered.
Yeah. Okay, no. Go back to we'll get to these villains in a second.
Post-election, the Democrats missed on, and this was economy. This was the breaking of the base because this administration is supporting genocide, and there it is, right? Like, if you're old dusty motherfucker, just because you have a good midterm doesn't mean you should be president until you're 138.
Crazy.
Okay, like I'd say
resting on those laurels. Not even your earned laurels. Like, Dobbs had nothing to do with Biden, and he's just like, I did that.
And I'd say that's something that I am a little taken aback of how little, reproductive rights, or something that we talked about of the like having abortion on the ballot in certain ways, allowing people
exactly what we talked about. People voted for Trump, and they also voted for the reproductive rights.
You can have your cake and eat it too, and that's where like, and especially now they can look back, it's like people just think Trump has a different vibe. Mm-hmm. People, and like that's like
he said that he wasn't going to be a bad guy. So,
oh well, yeah, and that's well, no, Trump said only the violent immigrants.
Yeah.
He's just going after the dangerous ones, you know, and like people just, oh, no, Trump isn't. And like, that's where personally, Trump definitely is not as strict on abortion as the rest of the Republican Party.
Yes.
That's like
correct.
One of the easiest layups I think we could all see, you know. He's not so devout on chastity as some of the other Republicans might, you know, be self-proclaiming, but like no shit. But that's where it's like, what does he allow? Who are the people that he puts in power, and what
happens
do?
if he fucking dies in JD Vance?
Yeah, people don't associate. Oh God,
man.
Yeah. Jesus.
Because you're right. He's not, but JD Vance comes into power, man.
And
we're
yeah,
so
and
fucked.
So that's where I think for the Democrats, there's a simple solution with a very difficult path because of these like just pathetic people like Seth Moulton.
God, man,
just awful.
Tom Suozzi.
Yeah, and the
all
Dean
of these
Phillips,
freaks, man.
Yeah. You know, there's a layer of these like younger Democrats that are already saying, well, it was the trans kids in sports thing that did it.
Yep.
And not, we didn't really offer up anything for anyone.
Well, again, that's what we missed out. I think this is something to always remember. Like, there's always a group to sacrifice, right? And marginalized communities know that best in this country. And this cycle, it's absolutely immigrants and trans people. Democrats are like, well, what have you done for me lately? Sorry, you must have fucked us over.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's pretty gross because, like, if you have to say who are the groups that are in the most immediate danger under a Trump administration, and it's immigrants and trans people, and the Democrats are just like ready to help start up the meat grinding machine.
Yeah.
Because they feel aggrieved, or like they're just building into a narrative because they never cared.
And not just Dems in power, man. I've seen insane shit on TikTok, like regular.
Some of these, like
these people have lost their fucking minds, man.
Yeah,
hey,
and like this is where I want to separate random people on Twitter or Blue Sky or TikTok, right? Random users. That's one thing. You know, I don't take stock into people I don't know are actually real people.
Sure.
And so to make this clear, there are a lot of Kamala Harris influencers who are real people who have visited the White House, who had spots at the DNC.
In the DNC, 100%.
Who are some of the most disgusting human beings I have ever seen in my life.
The one guy that's like, here's how to fucking turn in your friend's family members because he voted for Trump. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, well, let's call ICE on other people's family members because they voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Or this is like where people just now are looking into what's happening in Gaza.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, they did it. They bombed a hospital, and that's because Trump won. I'm like, no, you just haven't been seeing what's been happening, you piece of shit. Yeah. Oh, this is what you voted for. Like, they don't even like, and that's where it's like they see the clip of Mike Huckabee. Like, oh, well, I guess they're just going to ethnically cleanse the West Bank. This is what you voted for, and it's like you're not paying attention, and you're just using ethnic cleansing as like a gotcha to voters. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah,
especially as far as the numbers go. Like the couch won.
Yes.
Right? When it comes to the Democrats, right? They got to realize it. I mean, and that's where we don't know because like, why didn't they vote? There's a lot of people who you could say, hey, there's a Jill Stein, and there's so many split tickets.
Yes.
It's where it's like AOC was talking about this type of stuff, of the Trump top of the ticket, then Democrats down. Like, it's all right there. They had the ability and they just completely, fucked it. And now, a few of them are, and that's what you got. Some people that are coming out and actually talk about like just basics of public option for healthcare, increasing the minimum wage since 2007 under Bush was there's like some just real low hanging fruit that the Democrats completely missed on, and that's why you lost.
Yep,
you're doing a genocide.
They didn't make a good enough case, and they had a lot of cases for why people wouldn't show up. Too many negatives. I just the Republicans are a devoted voting base.
Yeah. I think this is where, as far as where racism and misogyny really comes into play, is that like really doesn't know much voter is just like, well, things felt kind of better under Trump. And,
Yeah.
what is this lady saying anyway?
What
it's kind of like going off of, what's this silly lady saying anyway? And then, and that's where like the racism and misogyny comes in to say, like, how do you look at Trump and not see just a buffoon, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're like, oh, well, look at their word salad, and it's like, are you kidding me? There's no.
And I also, I think, hey, again, no way to prove counterfactual, right? But I think this just kind of pulls into discussion, like maybe 2020 was just an aberration, man. Like they did, and
does COVID help? Does without COVID, does Biden win? I think that is the important question.
Yep.
That if
and
Democrats
I think we'll never know.
That,
but they also destroyed again, just like Obama did back in his time as well. They destroyed an apparatus that was thrown together to assist people in voting, and who's to say if that would have helped that millions of people come out? Yeah. But you might have shored up some of your margins in some of these, states, right?
Yeah.
Like there's just so many. This is very much like, I think, death by a thousand cuts. Like there's so many bits and pieces of the Democratic Party that are failing. And when you look at all of those things together, you start to realize why they were unable to capitalize here.
I feel like there's a giant gash wound, which is Joe Biden staying in, and then
absolutely, 100%.
You would have
and
made
all these little
to
infections,
the hospital had it not been the other cuts.
Sure. I mean, sure, absolutely. I mean, that is by far the biggest one. If Joe Biden in 2022 would have just been like, "Hey, listen, we gotta start looking into this." Sure, I think you have a much better.
If they looked at the midterms of like, hey, we staved off this red wave, and you just at that point say the Joe Biden administration was a success.
Yep, that's it.
Right?
We won.
At that point, in 2
we don't
years,
need to
right?
Keep staying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just plant your flag. We broke this political, normalcy of like, hey, you beat Trump. There wasn't this big swing. I mean, that's the thing that's like that midterm.
Yeah.
Like the Democrats could have won in the House.
Yeah.
That was the
But again, like these are all missteps
George Santos.
Too, right? Yeah.
Oh no, I know. That's where
the New York
like,
Dems lost that for him.
The New York and California Dems lost, right? The most dog shit vote for slave fucking labor in California.
I mean, you look at that too, man. Like this is we start to think about the future of the Democratic Party. The biggest red shifts in this election that we can see right now were New York and California.
But that's
again.
where I think or at least I don't want to go too far is that this is where you're going to see the biggest drop off.
Yes.
Right. This is where the biggest couch wins are going to be in New York and California.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
Like that shift red is going to be a little bit more stark there.
Yeah. But I still think New York is experiencing,
I think that Democrats need to say Gavin Newsom may not be the future as much as they want to fucking plan him as the future.
100%, yeah.
That's the thing that's like Gavin can't help you here.
Oh.
Right? So if
Oh.
Gavin can't help you in California, like get it, realize that. But they won't get it.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's it. Like, if you want to be a winning party, like you've got to take some deep introspection and say, why did we lose? And who do we have that is outside of the current sphere of influence that lost here? Because it's not just Kamala. Like, these are people that were around that sphere as well. People that are not going to do any better by that, And really, when we talk about it and we think about what the discussions that we had back in July, I think people like Gretchen Whitmer may have seen the fucking writing on the wall too and didn't want to be tied into that. I think there's more of a reason for her just being like, no, I just want to continue being a Michigan governor. I think she didn't want to be considered, honestly, because she may have realized what was coming down the pipeline.
Well, and that's, I mean,
like, and
this
good.
is where
because I wouldn't want to be like, what is Tim Walz? Tim Walz isn't going to do shit in 2028 now. He's fucked.
And you know what? I'll say this too: of like, fuck them, okay? Yeah. Like, because you dodged the genocide, fucking, you dodged the being on the genocide ticket.
Yeah,
and I think that in my viewpoint, that's beneficial.
Sure,
because
absolutely.
I think we could all envision a world where it is, Kamala chooses. Well, I mean, Shapiro, we already know he would have gone along, with, not saying anything about genocide. We know where he was. But Pritzker probably would have done it. Bashir would have done it. Whitmer would have done it.
That's
but
it.
only
why
one of them
Bashir didn't want to be on the ticket. Bashir 2028.
That's right. I'm a basher bro for life.
Let's go, baby.
He said,
I'm ready.
It is
okay, I was
ungodly
always
to support
ready.
this type of destruction of God's children. That's what he said. He told them to their face.
No one has thought, listen, nobody thinks about this enough, but you and I have sat around and understood political history long enough. There's nothing that these fucking Midwest and even Southern states love than a Southern Democrat, okay? Bill Clinton came in.
On. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Right?
Bashir's going to make this happen. Yeah.
Can we teach him how to play drums?
Andy, what do you like? Recorder? We can work with that. That's fine.
Playing a fucking Linkin Park fucking song.
Yeah.
Like, let's fucking go. It'll light the fire of the generation.
Yeah. Like this is how the Dems win again.
Yeah, this is how you win. But that's the thing. That's like, it has to become with something, it has to come with something. Yeah. But no, and I think that, like, I do wonder, like you're saying, as far as like people want to throw their name in the hat, and didn't want to be a part of the sinking ship, if you will. Yeah, who knows? It is where it's like for Whitmer, I think the idea of having two women on a ticket is something that, like, most of the politicos are like, we can't do that, So I wonder how much of like a real shake they even gave her. Yeah, this is something that the Democrats just have to be able to say past Democrats didn't do it right.
Yes. That's it. Like that's the biggest
really
thing.
The biggest hang up is this decorum bullshit where you can't say, no, this person was just wrong.
Yep.
And because if they can't do that, and they start focusing, and that's where, like, with the whole, like, this, like, trans panic and, the trans kids in sports and, she's for they, them, and Trump's for you. They're focusing, and now, because that's where now the Democrats are focusing too much on the they, them.
Yeah.
Right. Now they are focusing too much on the boogeyman that the Republicans have created in themselves. And not where that ad actually bites. It's not the targeting of trans people. For a lot of people who are hateful, that's where they get their juice out of that ad. For most regular folks, where that ad made a difference was the ignoring of them.
Yeah.
Not they didn't give a shit that it said the Dems were for trans people or for they, them, or whatever. It was that the Dems weren't for me. Like that was it. And this is where it can be crime. It could be immigration. The Republicans will, that's what they've been able to like weaponize is they're worried about someone who is not, and I mean, this largely is they're not for white cis, men, right? And but at the end of the day, that just blanket of, hey, they're worried about this is one thing. That's where hate and the bigotry and targeting otherness, right? That's where that sits. But the other side of the ad of they're not worried about you. This is failure of policy to actually reach people, and then having messaging that reinforces the narrative that policy should be right. That people, if the thing is too, where it's like people should have seen if you actually have policy behind it, people are like wages and going up and they're actually getting real health access to health care, like if there's child tax credit, I mean, child care. There are things that are happening and, they see these ads. They just seem like ridiculous ads, not ridiculous ads that kind of have a point.
Yeah.
And that's just it.
Yeah, man. Oof. It's fine. I'm sure Dems will learn all these lessons and we're going to be fine in 2026. Yeah. And that's it. 2026 is the next thing they got to throw into it hard, because that's how you start trying to make your way back to 50, because you're not going to make it back to 50 in 2026, but you start making your path back there, and maybe by 2028 you can get Senate control again. Well, and
they'd have to
you
really
at least have to take
out
the House, which
right. They really, and that's where I think instead of fighting against some independence in some rural area, like the Democratic Party just need to be smart about politics, because they really should have been I think juicing the guy, I can't remember his name, but he ran for Senate in Nebraska as an independent.
Oh, and, yeah. You're talking about Osborne, yeah.
Yeah.
They should have been juicing Osborne. Even though he hated Biden, they should have juiced him.
I mean, yeah. Because that's where it's like the Democrats ended up beefing with him because he wouldn't commit. But it's like, no, you guys are idiots, you know.
And you could have grabbed him,
Yeah,
you get him caucus with you, just like you do Bernie or anybody else.
Exactly. Can't be any worse. At least point him to Senator King, point him to Bernie, say, hey, because they, just make sure he doesn't stick to Rand Paul, and, things should turn out okay.
Yep. He'll be more dependable than Joe Manchin.
I mean, and exactly. I mean, hell, just have Rand Paul say tell him what he thinks about unions, and then you'll figure out pretty easily which independence he'll probably lean to. But this is where the Democrats really don't know, in the spots where they're just so unpopular, that the only chances are going to be some of these independent type of things.
Because those people are obviously Osborne has a lot of things that are there is a working class argument for Osborne, and that he understands more than the Dems do what this electorate wants, and so that, and I think, given more money from a establishment like the Dems, that they had plenty of, this had $1 million, they just fucking burned on Kamala. Given more money, I think somebody like Osborne would be able to take those areas, and they need to figure out, do you want loyalists or do you want people that you're going to be able to work with?
Yeah,
because I don't know, man. The idea of what the Democrats are right now is fracturing.
Oh, I mean, I think the idea of what a Democrat is almost non-existent. I think this, especially between this campaign, obliterated any idea of what a Democrat is.
The worst loss they've suffered since the 80s, man.
Because you walk around with Liz Cheney.
Yep.
I don't what the hell is
you're
this?
telling me this is where we're at now? It's just 2000s Republicans? You know, being guided by Labor Party, operatives.
Oh my
like,
God. Yeah.
what's happening? You know,
Yeah.
these people were again only able to win because the extreme mismanagement of the Tories. Like, and that's it.
Yeah. And that's like the kind of the frustrating thing is,
Like,
The
where
de- 'cause the
are your
Democrats are-
fucking where are
Well, they're
your
relying on this,
ambassadors
like-
from Claudia Scheinbaum? They'll actually teach you how to win. You know?
no. Yeah. They don't want to hear from them.
No.
But when it comes to the Democrats, and they keep regurgitating this like statistic that in the top 10 democracies, the incumbent lost over the past, and it's this bullshit stat that sanitizes the actual politics
Yes.
of these institutions being entrenched and not performing for people, and then
Correct.
people just choosing the other
how do you
option.
measure that? Because the Tories lost, but also left parties lost as well.
They
It's
kicked
just
themselves in the junk over Brexit.
these
it's like,
parties lost for reasons besides just this
Yeah.
nebulous idea that people don't like inflation. Like, they lost because
Yeah.
they were unable to fucking swing with the punches.
yeah,
They got caught in the
And-
rope a dope, much like hopefully Jake Paul will tonight and get absolutely destroyed.
Oh my God!
He's not going to, but I wish.
I
wish
just-
Mike still had that killer spirit.
I really,
man.
I hate that this world
Yeah.
does this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, maybe something good happens. All right. Hired Mike.
Yeah, maybe he's back. Probably not. But
Yeah. Just
yeah, I
think
mean,
back to
like
the
that's
pigeons on
the
that roof,
thing.
Mike.
Like,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say that's the thing is you have all these, archaic institutions that are unable to figure because the real problem, and I hate to say it because it's boring and it's leftist or whatever, but the real problem is capitalism. All right, this is the thing this is the reason that people are displeased, and nothing can be done about it from a lot of these institutions, and that is why at least. Claudia Scheinbaum is able to out-navigate that and say, no, we are going to do things for the people.
Because things are getting better.
Yes.
There's actual, there is just look at the data. It is there. It's real. Like, poverty alleviation gets people engaged. It helps.
We are going
That's
to
what you're
have
supposed to
doctors.
do.
We are going to send out research to people's houses and staff out doctors for people that need it. Like, just basic shit.
I mean, yeah. Like, and for just getting some help from weather, but there's they're able to avoid a water crisis in Mexico.
Yeah.
And so that, there's ways where it's just no, you actually have to perform. There has to be something where people can say, if not for these people, my life would be worse.
Correct.
Not your life will be worse unless you choose me.
Yes.
And that is that's what Democrats were saying this whole fucking
Can't keep
time.
people in a hostage situation, man. They don't like that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And now maybe that's the into the next segment of this podcast of things are getting worse for you.
Things are going to get worse for you. Okay. Now, depending on who you are, if you're a child, things are going to get worse. If you're an adult that likes children, then Matt Gaetz is probably in position to help you.
The most frustrating point of the Democratic politics is that it's not an empty threat, and your life is now about to get worse.
Yep. Things will get worse because these people are in, but that does not mean that people, just going to outright vote for them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not and this is where, that's just politics,
Yeah.
Going back to people just don't engage. People have been completely separated, and I think about, somebody talk about this prior, somebody talk about streams and stuff is I remember meeting this old guy that said he was a former neighborhood boss in the Democratic Party. That's not, that's just nickname for it. But it was just, he was supposed to talk to every single person on his block just once a month to check in for the party.
Yeah.
Is there anything that the party could or should be doing for them? Or is there anything that that person wanted to be engaged with the party? You know, it was trying to pull people in and also trying to deliver services. And that does not exist.
Yes.
You know, and that's the type of thing that you know, where you just say, oh, well, that's actually how you keep the working class. It's not just doing this type of like, oh, is our messaging? Did we go on this podcast?
Yeah.
Like, these people are silly if you think that it's just going to be some type of podcast. Does it help to go on popular, you know, programs and deliver your message? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But nothing will fundamentally change. Wasn't a good message. And if you would have made it on Rogan, then these results would have just been the same.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's because that's it. Like, she's not going to give a fundamentally different message than she gave to The View, which is, no, I think that we're going to be the same as Biden. No, maybe I'll get Democrats, or maybe I'll get Republicans. It's like, yeah, that message doesn't play anywhere. You know, like you already bombed it. I think even if you're able to reach out to some of these groups, they're still going to hear somebody that's, you know, a belt-white politician talking about how she is just going to marginally like affect your lives, if at all. Because a lot of these young men are not going to be like, oh, finally, a fucking tax rebate for my first home. Now I can buy one.
Hell yeah.
You know, like...
Because that's the thing is, like, most people, especially for people who are renting, people who would like to buy a house.
Yeah.
The idea of like, oh, we're going to give you a tax credit for your down payment. People are like, you know, that's where it's like, if you're telling me you're going to help me out to get from 10,000 feet to 30,000 feet, and
Yes.
I'm just standing on fucking ground.
Yeah.
Looking up, like, how the fuck am I going to get to 10,000 feet?
Yes.
What am I going to buy? You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Where are my
great.
free government loans? All right.
Like, how do
Where's
I even get to the
that?
point of down payment of the house where I could barely afford rent?
Yes.
You know,
Where are
and
my
that's where
free
they
government
swing
loans
and
of
a miss.
$50,000 to help purchase a house for a down payment? Where's that at? All right.
Literally.
Fuck a tax credit. That is for people that already have money. You know.
Rent caps, okay?
Yeah. Like
Rent caps.
give me the direct fucking 15% plus closing that I need. You know.
Yeah.
At bare minimum.
But no, instead, well, yeah, Trump is the president-elect. And he's beginning to make some of his choices.
He's selected a Nazi Fox News host, two former Democrats. Look, he put Democrats in his cabinet.
Hey, what's that? The bipartisan king.
Yeah, like
Well, and that's like so. I think we got. Like, I mean, little Marco. I think
Rubio,
Rubio, Secretary of State. Normal
sure.
pick. You know,
Yeah.
probably. You know, will largely, you know, get put in. Waltz. Another. You know, senator or not.
Walls
senator,
is in. Nice. Oh, you mean?
Yeah, the Green Beret,
Yeah,
freaking. But yeah, he's what was it? National Security Advisor. You know that's kind of the normal, and then you get in the parade of ghouls.
Yeah.
Pete Hegseth, Fox News host who does not wash his hands.
Yeah, and
His
is
hands
again
peak.
like a literal white supremacist. You
Yeah.
know?
Has a lot of crusader iconography tattoos.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Very
stuff.
interesting stuff. Yeah. And just ridiculous.
Yeah.
An
just ridiculous
absurd
human being.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's like and this is where like even it's one of those things where it's like even for Trump,
Yeah,
like it's
crazy,
like,
man.
like
If
a
he's got-
crazy pick.
He's still got room, man. If you put Sanity on an appointment, I think I might have to.
No, I mean the White House press secretary,
Yeah,
someone.
yeah.
That's like someone in my chat said Tucker Carlson got press secretary. I was like, my heart sunk for a second. I was like, these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
like, they
don't realize what they're saying. This could be real.
Yeah, you're
Like-
manifesting. Stop it. But that's an absurd pick. Freaking Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
Where and the thing that like where the danger, is like Stephen Miller, who's someone that's been around, ever since Trump came around at first. Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy.
Yeah.
This is a position, it's not a Senate, confirmed position. I think, Stephen Miller would be confirmed anyway, in one of these types of things.
Yeah.
But obviously that's like one of the guys that like we know he's a Nazi. That's a problem. And we'll see, because then you got Matt Gaetz, who, there's this ethics
They're
committee.
dropping it. Mike, well, not dropping, but Mike Johnson, I believe, suggested that it not be released because it's not pertinent information.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So,
I'm sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Guess you get whatever you want,
Yeah, so him for AG, like, and that's this is where you get like the Susan Collins and Murkowski. They're very concerned about this. They're deeply
Of
concerned.
course, always. Not so much that they ever leave the party, but very concerned.
No. And so, I think, especially as it turns to Matt Gaetz, because there's a lot of people in the party just hate him. There's
over
people in
10
the
senators that don't want to confirm.
Yeah. So
I don't think
see.
it matters if Trump uses a recess appointment, but
And that's the thing, is that the recess appointment would have to take some time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But if he's bound and determined to get it done, if they try to reject this guy and they sniff it out like, oh well, then what are you gonna do? Are we casting scrying yet for Senate Majority Leader? Who do you want, Marcus?
Oh no, Thune got it.
Did Thune get it?
Yeah. They voted for Thune. So Rick Scott.
I was guessing it was him or Johnson. Shit. Or Jordan, rather. I was really hoping for Jim Jordan.
Oh, in the House. No, that's what. So you're talking about for the House?
No. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, not Jordan. What's his dumb fucking name? Tuberville. I was hoping for Tuberville.
God. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah. Got my wires crossed with different high school chuds, Yeah. I was hoping for Tuberville, but Thune. Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
Which it's like the MAGA, the MAGAs were trying to go for Rick Scott from Florida, who scammed Medicare for like millions of dollars and shit. But
actual lizard person, Rick Scott.
Yeah, literally. And that's where like the Senate just went with like the normal. This is the guy. It's Thune's turn.
Yeah. Of course.
And then as of right now, Mike Johnson in the House is looking like they're going to continue on with the speakership for him.
Now. Yeah, he's
the
loyal,
thing that is interesting is that Trump is taking away the majority.
Yeah.
So it's this like thing of where.
Yes,
because it's so
people.
close, right? Yeah. Because like the margin is so close in the House.
You got to hope that they get replaced,
Well, they have to be replaced quickly, but also that even just takes time.
Yes.
And so they could be coming onto the floor, and while technically the Republicans hold the majority, they don't have the members to vote as a majority.
Yes.
And that could be a problem. And is it going to be a problem? Probably not.
Yeah.
But they're going to need every member to show up. Because Elise Stefanik, that's like another pick to the UN. It was just, horrible.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Absolute dog shit.
Yeah. Waltz from Florida, and I'm trying to think, there was some other, congressman that got selected for something. And so yeah, we'll see.
And Burgermaster for the Interior, baby. All right,
Burgermentum, let's go.
Burgermentum, finally, it paid off. Those eyebrows,
Kristi Noem, Department of Homeland Security.
Jesus
Didn't
Christ.
she got selected for that, right?
Did she? God,
I
that
think
sucks.
so, yeah.
That sucks so bad.
Oh yeah. Watch your dogs.
Watch the Department of Doge, honestly. You know,
Oh my
can't get him too
God.
close.
And then nothing says let's
God.
get this government efficiency down and stop all the power from these unelected bureaucrats, but by creating a whole new bureaucratic fucking thing that doesn't even exist.
Doesn't even exist.
By
It can't
two
be
unelected
literally-
elites.
yeah, literally can't be anything actually having to do with the government. It has to be an oversight commission,
Yeah.
Cool.
No problem.
Pretty cool.
And-
No, it is going to be bad. It is going to just get worse. The question is, I think the question is like presently, what does Trump want to do, at a federal level? And for the most, like if you look at his first administration, for the most part, he's not a big federal level kind of guy outside of a couple of things. So does that continue? And I think that's what people have to hope for, that he doesn't, he just kind of, plays to the evangelicals, but never does a real like attempted abortion ban. He doesn't try to fuck with trans people. He just kind of leaves states to what they are, and states are going to get worse as a result of this. Like they are going to be trying it as much as they can, but
I think,
at least at a federal level,
I think we're.
Go ahead.
Whatever he can do on like the executive functions, those are going to be a little bit more, smooth, faster than the last, and honestly, I think that's where for immigrants, like in like ICE raids and that type of shit, I think not so much of like, I don't think there's going to be some mass expansion of ICE. I think that people need to watch their local cops, and start even getting those assurances now on your elected officials as to like what is and is not allowed by these local police departments and shit like that. And then also backing that up. And it's where even going back, and I remember like churches, I remember, this, I mean, I was still like a staffer, when it was like Trump administration, and churches were a very, very big help, that like literally protecting immigrants from ICE. Because like that was in some cases the only place ICE, where like even the ICE motherfuckers knew that they should, they can't do this. So, this is where just finding ways to make sure like people can protect themselves and defend against this type of stuff. But that's the major thing. I think that like where the Republicans are going to need to, figure out a budget. That's where like as of right now, the government should have passed the budget for next year, or at least because like we're in it now, right? This next fiscal year, we're in it now.
Yeah.
They should have already passed the budget. They did a continuing resolution. So until, what is it, the end of January? And so we'll see. We will see, whatever the fuck they're able to do, but it's going to have a big tax cut. Like, that's what I know. They're going to get tax cuts done. That's all they were able to do last time.
Can't wait for it. It's gonna be great.
They're going to be able to do that. And, can they avoid a government shutdown? And that's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
It's going to be, get those tariffs done, baby. Whew. Golly. We're so fun.
I love how dude's like openly he's just like, no, I'm gonna do tariffs. Oh no, it's just a way of negotiating.
Yeah,
so you're just openly talking about your negotiating tactics.
Listen, here's what I think, and I'm I could be extremely wrong. I think he sat down and was like, I have to be more presidential this time, and sat down and read like fucking, or maybe audible that shit, just like 5 or 6 books about fucking Andrew Jackson. He was like, I think everything he
my
did was
God.
right. I'm just going to start talking about it and see what people think.
Yeah. Dude, with that Grover Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's like the guild. Did you ever hear about this?
Yeah.
The Gilded Age. Doesn't that sound great? The Gilded Age. Sounds
Beautiful,
wonderful.
folks. Yeah, I don't know.
Wonderful.
Like, everything remains to be seen what they'll be able to achieve. They could achieve anything, but I think it's important to remember that the Democrats could have achieved anything as well when they had a majority under Obama, and they didn't. So do Republicans have the political will to just fucking force through as much shit as they want? It's possible, and they may just do that. But I also understand what bureaucracy is. And these motherfuckers take forever to decide on whether or not a state can have, a second public bathroom at the rest stop. So, I don't know. I don't know, how quickly things will move, if they can heat up the glacial pace that our government currently works at. So
I don't think they did any favors, especially with the Matt Gaetz choice, Tulsi Gabbard,
I think
RFK.
that's the other thing. I just think he's picking a bunch of people that kind of don't know how to fucking govern,
Yeah.
And it's just but I will tell you this. If RFK Jr. tries to take away my fucking Diet Coke, all right? I'm
gonna stop the steal.
I'll be at the fucking
Let's go, brother.
Baby, I'm protecting my
roll
country.
tide.
Okay?
Yeah. That's the thing that's fucked up is for one thing, it's hard to find someone that's been nominated that is not been credibly accused or admitted to sexual assault. It's a very, very disgustingly wild thing to see. Yeah. But that's where RFK, when he starts going off on this, we need to get this, we can't make, have high fructose corn syrup and shit like that. And you're just God damn it. Why is it this guy? You know what I'm saying?
Why is it
it's
this guy?
as far as our food systems and all this type of shit, that's where some of the shit, he's just 100% right. And it just pisses me the fuck off that he's even saying it because everything else he says is it's just bullshit.
Do you want a little blast in the past? Do you remember that he was actually on Obama's shortlist as well? Back in 2008, yeah, he was on Obama's shortlist for a cabinet appointment. They didn't end up going with him, but it's so funny.
Jesus Christ,
this whole place is a clown show. Yeah,
so much of this is Trump just trolling. I think even having Tom Homan be naming him the border czar. Yeah, I think that is just another dig at Kamala.
Yes, 100%.
And the whole thing.
Like I said, this is a clown show. This is just him. Fuck it, I'll do whatever. You want the Department of Doge, Elon? Whatever, you weird little fucking freak. Stop staring at me while I eat, okay? You can have your department.
I call him my shadow. Elon, he's still here.
Little buddy.
Little
presidential buddy.
God damn it.
Apparently he's only gone home one day since Trump won.
Although,
he just fucking sits in Mar-a-Lago.
Twitter can finally tank, right?
Yeah,
I think the mass exodus is blue sky. The libs have had it.
Blue sky's $1 million a day right now.
Yeah, well, Twitter's state media now, so I don't know. I don't buy into that type of thing. Freedom of speech is important to me.
I stand with Mullis, you wrote, okay?
Yeah, government controlled, social media app. No, thank you. That's
it's boring shit now. Sorry, I'm gonna skeet my life away. Gonna skeet it up.
Oh wow, gooning.
Gooning.
Well,
yeah. What a time.
Silver linings.
Can't wait till we find out more. Little limited and late episodes this week, but we'll be back on time next week. So who knows what we'll find out over the weekend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you looking forward to, though, in between?
My silver linings? Well, I just got older yesterday, and with that, I think there comes a little wisdom. I not sure what it is yet, but I am looking forward to
It'll get
finding
there.
out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to finding out more about the world now that I've crossed the threshold. You know,
Nice. Nice.
no, I mean, I'm looking for. I've been talking to my chat over the past week and a half. I just, I've kind of disconnected a little bit from all the Trump appointments. I'm aware of all of them because I'm, a sicko. But I've also just been talking more about like, hey, we're gonna start talking about food, not bombs, so you guys know what it is. I think if anything, you can view this however you want. But I think there is a silver lining in that more people are going to be activated to do something in their community and do something to help others,
Yeah,
Now, if
I think
that
it's already
persists
happening.
is a different question, but I do think, one of my buddies just invited me to a group, fucking 20 strong. They've already put together these libs, 20 strong that are trying to organize planting, that are trying to organize, like food share and everything. And I was like, okay, all right, like I can work with this. Give me access to these people, and I'll radicalize every single one of them. All right, that's important, and that's what I'm looking forward to. It's just like a renewed vigor to involve myself in, getting other people to go out and help.
Yeah. I've actually got two silver linings, and one is just a major copium silver lining.
Yeah.
Is that, people do and like realize, hey, we could just come together and make sure like the things in our lives are taken care of. And we do need clean water and good food that we are connected to, and start dealing with housing in a serious manner and healthcare.
Yeah.
Because, and that's where, and part of it comes off of like the Republicans just not being able to pass a budget and them just breaking empire, right?
Yeah.
Like them just not even be able to get the, human death grinding machine started. They just break it,
Yeah.
And we just, figure it out. That's my hopium. But what I'm actually looking forward to is, and this is, I'm going out, I'm stretching out a few weeks, but like Thanksgiving, I'm gonna be going home and spending time with family. I might have mentioned before, my family is, comes from Jamaica. So kind of get in touch back with my heritage of getting the fuck out when shit gets bad. It's something that it's just part of my family, it's something that we're used to. So
now in Ohio, do you all put the skyline chili on the turkey, or is it served on the side?
Well, we stuff it with the skyline chili. It keeps it that way. The juices.
Yeah, that's nice.
Throughout.
That's nice. That keeps it moist. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna be doing the most disgusting thing on Thanksgiving.
Fuck.
Oh, I boiled it in skyline chili for 13 hours. It's gonna
Honestly,
be delicious.
That would be fucking incredible.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Oops. It would just be like oops all tendons, like all the meat. It's just
delicious. All right. And a little, instead of the mac and cheese, a little spaghetti with.
Man, that's right. Oh, just overboiled spaghetti. Yeah, that's what you need.
Amazing.
10 pounds of cheddar for each plate.
Yeah,
and
that is nice to just reconnect with family and figure out,
how we're going to escape from this country.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. It's my heritage, okay?
Yeah.
Y'all got to stay, okay?
I'm not going anywhere for now, but go speak.
No, you got to stay. Y'all whites wanted to be here, okay? You wanted to be here so bad, you deal with it.
Well, I believe my ancestors specifically came here because we got starved out somewhere else. So I think that's
you should have fought for your country there. No.
Do you want to know the craziest? Listen, you want to know the craziest statistic that Ireland still has not reached pre-fucking 1800s levels? of
There's
population.
population. Get out of here.
It's fucking crazy, right?
That is wild.
Still,
that's
like that's
wild.
how fucking devastating that the potato
crazy.
famine was.
That is crazy.
200 years still unable to fucking replace up to fucking wild. And then the Brits just spread it fucking everywhere else, man. They're like, all right, well, the test case, let's make this whole fucking world terrible.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Still kind of terrible.
Yeah, no, I look forward that and Friendsgiving. I look forward to Friendsgiving as well. I'm gonna, take some time to feed people and sit down, reconnect, all that.
Yeah.
Be good.
Get on that Skyline chili turkey.
I'm gonna make it just for you. You're gonna show up. You have no idea yet. Hey, it's a second smaller Cornish hen. Just Cornish
boiled.
hen 3 ways. Yeah. That. Is that good?
Gross. I'm just picturing it in my head, and it looks so funny.
You stuff it with the spaghetti, and then
it's just little head sitting on the thing. The cheese is on top. Oh my god!
Stupid.
All right, well, we're here for 2016 round 2.
Finally, I missed it so much. Finally, we're back.
and we just got to keep going, and that's it. And
it's gonna be fine. We're gonna make it. We persisted last time. We gotta do a lot of things, organize people, help
That's
folks, et cetera, et cetera.
this is
Believe
my
in us.
fight song.
This is my fight song. We'll be back next week. Look, all the things.
Peace.